Go into child's pose, but have your if you can, if you not all of us can do this, but have your toes curled into the mat, and I'll show you what I mean. So I need my blocks. Let me grab them in a sec. So see if you can curl your toes under like this. Let your knees go wide and come into child's pose like that with your toes curled under. Let me grab my blocks. Yeah, it's a little funky. If it's pissing you off, then don't do it. Just have the tops of the feet on the mat. It's sometimes nice to stretch the base of the feet if it's available. The arms are energized forward. The palms are spread pretty actively across the mat. Make a connection, thumb, index finger, baby finger, anchor through your hands. And connect to an energizing breath that works for you this morning. Spread your lower back across the base of your heels if you can. And just 2 more breaths with the toes curled. So all you're going to do is lift your hips up and come to a tabletop position. So now you're just going to arrange yourself with your toes curled and you're set up for tabletop position. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders or a tiny bit forward. For some of us, it feels kind of nice. Good. You're going to engage your right leg and curl the toes into the mat. Very simple movement. And drive down and just feel for a second. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. Draw your belly and your waist in and up, and then float your right leg up. Just the right leg lifts, just hip height. So small movements this morning. And just breathe your right leg towards the back skinny edge of your mat. Then slide your left arm forward. Reach and stretch in opposite directions. Fire up that right hand. Feel your outer tricep grip in. Steer your pelvis towards the ground so everything is neutral. Reach back with your left arm, pause like you're swimming. Bend at your knee crease, grab your ankle if it's available. If grabbing the ankle kind of pulls you to the floor, just pause in the shape without the hand grabbing the ankle. Kick subtly up and back. Keep your chest moving forward, the right hand anchoring down. Breathe. Reach and stretch the arm and the leg in opposite direction to release. Good. Keep the lift of your right leg, guys. Just place your left hand down to the ground. Pause. Just to be a little bit more challenging here, come to your left fingertips like this. So come onto your left fingertips. Good. Very slowly, see if you can reach your right arm forward. It's really hard. You can do it with your hand down too. Just play. Do it slow. So it's right arm and right leg. Reach and stretch for 3. Good. Hug your left hip in. I'm falling all over the place, but that's the point for 2. Good. Take a giant breath in. The right arm reaches up towards the sky. You're going to pivot your left toes out, and you're going to come into a modified side plank like this. You just open up. Stack the body. If having your right leg lifted towards the sky makes you feel a little unstable, just take the right foot down to the ground and reset. Yeah. Good. So sometimes you come to the practice, you feel a little floppy, a little uneasy. That's the point. We got to work it out. 2 more breaths. Hand and knee to the floor, tabletop position, reset. Just reset tabletop position, put that in the past. Curl the left toes into the mat, pause. Just do the left leg, curl it back and fire up the thigh. Float the leg up off the ground, only hip height, fire up the glute and the hamstring. Just do this much. You can always just pause step by step and find a spot that works for you and not move on. That's fine. Reach your right arm forward so your arm and your leg are moving in opposite direction. Always check in that your palm is facing the center. Good. So your arm, you know, is in the right rotation. Breathe yourself apart here. So reach and stretch and create space and length. Hugging your right hip in, you got it. Reach the right arm back like you're flying. Bend at your left knee crease and see if you can get hold of your ankle. It may or may not work. Try not to open the hip. Keep everything neutral, the chest moving forward. Breathe into your upper cavity, keep your neck nice and neutral. On a sharp exhale, release the arm and the leg in opposite direction. Good, keep the lift of the left leg, don't let it drop, just place the right hand down. I think this is easier to do with the right palm flat. Move it out just about 1 inch in front of you, yes. And then see if you can very slowly begin to bring your left arm and your left leg in the same direction. So your left arm goes forward and your left leg moves back. And you're balancing on your right hand and your right knee for 3. Good, try not to open it up, keep it neutral for 2. Good, you're moving into a modified side plank. So the left arm reaches up and you begin to open. You may need to turn your right toes out to do this. Good, you can also have your left foot grounded like a warrior 2 if you feel like your balance is a little off. But ideally working our side ribs, stack the shoulders, look up at the eyes. Hand in either the floor, tabletop, toes curled. Walk your hands out 1 inch in front of you. Lift your hips and slowly move yourself into a down dog. Knees can be as bent as you need this morning. Take up a lot of space on the mat. Good, let your head just hang. Breathe your hips way up off your shoulders. Let your shoulders move away from your ears. Your outer triceps grip in and you plug down. Make subtle, mindful kind of adjustments in your body, your mind, and your breath this morning. And that's sometimes where we get the shift or we make you kind of have an aha moment. On an inhale breath, just float your right leg up only hip height. Yeah, when you do it, make sure your left hip doesn't jut out. Yeah, plug down through your hands. Feel your outer triceps grip in and just breathe your right leg up only hip height. Stay with it. Good, so you're gonna lower your right toes, but not let the toes touch the ground, so it's just hovering. So you're literally just hovering your right toes from the ground. So you're kind of in this like floating 3-legged down dog, yes. Then lower your right foot to the ground, you got it. Float your left leg up, just from the inner thigh, breathe it up. Let the head hang, grip your right hip in strong, just breathe. Draw your navel in. Start to lower the left leg down, but don't let it touch the ground. So see if you can just hover it very subtly, just hover it from the ground. Lower the left foot down, roll forward to plank. Yeah. Broaden across the upper shoulders, plug the hands into the mat, draw the navel to the back of the spine. No, you can always modify. Totally fine. Breathe your chest forward and through. Press down into your hands. Float your right foot up 1 inch, hold. Lower the right foot, lift the left foot 1 inch, hold. Lower the left foot, pause and plank. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. So we're gonna put that all together. Breathe your right leg up, hip height. Yep, try it out. Lower the right foot so it hovers, and as you do that, come forward to a 3-legged plank. Yeah. Lower the right foot to plank position, drop your knees and lower halfway supported push-up. Keep your neck long. Re-straighten your arms to supported plank. Lift your knees, plank position, hips up and back, down dog. Lift your left leg up from the inner thigh, flex the foot. Lower the left foot very slow so it just hovers a tiny bit. Roll forward to plank so the left foot is hovering. You're in a plank position with the left foot hovering. Lower the left foot down plank, drop your knees, everybody behind you. Lower halfway supported push-up. Re-straighten your arms, supported plank. You got it. Legs engaged plank position. Hips up and back, down dog. We'll do that one more time on the breath. Inhale the breath, lift your right leg up, hip height. Lower the right foot so it hovers 1 inch. Come forward to plank, 3-legged plank position. You got it. Lower the right foot plank, drop your knees, halfway to a push-up, chaturanga. Re-straighten your arms to a supported plank or plank if you're ready to go for it. Lift your knees, plank position. Hips up and back dog. One more time, breathe the left leg up, hip height. Lower the left foot so it just hovers. Rock forward to a three-legged plank. Lower the left foot down, plank position. Maybe don't drop the knees this time. Chaturanga push-up. Re-straighten your arms to a plank position. Hips up and back dog. Walk to the top of the mat. When you arrive, long spine, weight is forward, look forward with your eyes. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands come to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Just stand for a second and close your eyes. Just feel your body. Feel the weight as it kind of shifts forward and shifts back. Contract your thighs, draw the eyes of the shoulders back. Just stand up nice and tall. Open up your eyes, slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Look up a little if you can. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold, let your head just go. Come to the fingertips and prepare you. Step to plank for the first one. Lower halfway to your push-up, chaturanga. You can support it. You can just drop the knees. Pull yourself through your first up dog or baby cobra. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. So make your vinyasas your own this morning. Adding or subtracting push-ups. Yep, you got it. Look to the top of the mat. Step. If you're ready to float because you've had extra coffee, good for you. Arrive safe. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up, anchor and feel, go big. Drag your hands to prayer at heart, drop your arms, reset. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. So you got to kind of get into your yoga move here. Dive over, bent knees, forward fold. Let the weight pull you forward. Let the head go. Come to the fingertips, prepare. Step. If you're ready to float, go for it. Land right into chaturanga push-up if you can. Upward facing slides you through. Hips up and back, downward facing. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Arms stay nice and straight. Look where you want to land. Step or float your feet there this morning. Get there light. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Keep going like this. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold. Let your weight pull you forward. Long spine to prepare. Step, or float through your version of a vinyasa. Upward facing, you want to pull your chest through your body. Press through your hands, hips up and back, downward facing. Each one starts to feel a little bit better, hopefully. It's what we're going for. Look to the top of the mat. Step or float your feet there. Get there light. Soft. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Anchor. Drag it to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. One more. Arms stretch straight up towards the sky. Dive over, bend knees, forward fold. Your weight pulls you forward. Let your head go. There you go. Long spine prepares you. Step or float through your version of a vinyasa. Upward facing pulls you through. Hips up and back. Downward facing. Breathe your right leg up in your down dog, three-legged down dog. So just breathe your right leg up from your inner thigh. So it's different when you do it from that way. You don't want to feel like your hip is like flinging towards the sky. So it's a very controlled movement and your left hip is hugging you in. Good. Lower your right foot so it just hovers the mat, just an inch or two. Yeah, it's a subtle movement. Roll forward to the plank like that. So the right foot's not touching the ground, it's hovering. Now draw your right knee towards your navel. There you go. Your arms are straight up and down. So sometimes I struggle with this with neck, lower back. Just have the hips a little higher if it doesn't feel that great in your body this morning. That's kind of the modification. If not, the body is in one straight plane of energy and you're working on scooping out your belly. Look forward with your eyes, land your right foot all the way forward and through. Get a big step. Come to your fingertips. Drop your back knee briefly on an angle with the toes curled. Yeah, be on your fingertips for a moment. So you want to feel like you can lead with your chest. I love this. This just feels good in the body. It's opening up the psoas and getting you ready to kind of move. Round your right hip, anchor the right foot, and then come up to a supported lunge. Yes. Lower half the body is moving down, upper half the body is going up. Drop your arms on an angle right by your side body, clasp your hands. It could be a loose grip. It could be a little bit more, I wouldn't call this aggressive, but a little bit of a straighter arm situation where the hands kind of dripping down the back of the left thigh. Just stay here for a few cycles of breath. So a very gentle back bend, opening up the chest and the heart. Elbows can have as much bend. Grip your right hip in strong. Put a lot of attention to your right knee and your right thigh right now. Make sure that doesn't move at all. And very slowly begin to fire up from your back left leg into a crescent lunge like this. Hands and arms are bound. Yeah, for some reason the arms behind your back doesn't work for you this morning. Simply just place your hands to your hips. This is setting your shoulders up for nice alignment as well. Yeah, great option. If your hands are bound and your arms are straight, see if you can start to drop your hands towards down the back of your left thigh. Once again, not in an aggressive type of movement, subtle movement. Breath is flowing, chest is open, eyes can glance up a little. Sweep your arms out and up if you can. Go big towards the sky. Hold here. Hands to frame your front foot. I want you just to step back to a downward facing dog. Yes. Lift your left leg up from the inner thigh. Breathe it up. Hip height and pause. Good. Lower the left foot so it just hovers and then roll forward to your three-legged plank. Look forward with your eyes. Hug your left knee in. Do it slow. Make deliberate movements. Scoop out your belly, arms are straight up and down. Land your left foot all the way forward and through. Drop your knee in an angle, keep the toes curled, be on your fingertips. Pause. Get yourself aligned, focus on your left hip, sweep your arms out and up, come up supported lunge. Back leg is on an angle, guys. If the knee is kind of jabbing into the mat, you've got to find something to pat it. Drop your arms by your side body, pause here. So this is also a good spot to be because you're just setting it up. Interlace your hands, opposite grip if you could remember. Good luck with that. Inhale your breath, open up the chest, just be here supported. Eyes of the shoulders move up and back, hips are forward. Focusing on your left leg, keeping a strong shape with that front left leg. Begin to fire up from your back right quadricep and hamstring as you pop up into this lunge. Keep the hands bound. If they're clasped and the arms are straight, start to reach them subtly down the back of that right thigh. Grip your hips in strong. Find firmness, find stability. Look up with your eyes a little. Sweep your arms out and up if you have that range of movement. Hands to frame your front foot. Step to a dog. Good. What I want you to do here is just step your right foot forward and through. Right, so you're in a low lunge. If you have a block, you're going to take the block. Actually drop your knee to do this and step your right foot onto the block. So it's going to look like this. And then fire up the leg. So you're basically just elevating your front foot on a block. Yes. Squeeze your hips in strong. Come up, crescent lunge. Happy Friday, guys. Hip points forward. Drive down into that block. Breathe. Hands to frame your front foot. Drop the back knee. It's the best way to do this. Step your right foot off. Just come to tabletop. I think it's easier to move like this. Move the block over. Step your left foot onto that block so the back knee is down for a second. This is much easier to set it up. Integrate your back knee, low lunge with your front left foot on the block. Grip your hips in strong. Once you feel like you have your stability, bring yourself up slow. Do it slow, do it slow, do it slow. Bring your arms up. Crescent lunge on a block. Breathe your hip points forward. Anchor, drive down. Another big breath in, you got this. Hands to frame your front foot, drop your knee, slide your foot up off the block. Just step to a dog now. From your downward facing dog, roll forward plank. Lower halfway down to a push-up chaturanga. Drag yourself through a smooth up dog, cobra, or skip. Hips up and back, down dog. Land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, come up warrior one. Spin your left ribs forward. Get heavy in your front thigh. Breathe your chest open. Hands to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa or right to a down dog this morning is a good spot to be. Step your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong. Just pull yourself up warrior one. Back foot's on a strong angle, right rib spin forward. You can pitch forward a little if your back is sensitive. Hands come down, vinyasa or not. Up dog is optional always. Push-ups are optional. Meet in a downward facing dog. So hopefully you're starting to settle in a little. And that's just not your body, but it's more your mind, right? Look to the top of the mat, step or float your feet there this morning. Long spine when you arrive, exhale, fold. Sit into your first chair. I know you're super excited to hit this, so go for it now. You can separate your feet as much as you need. If your back is sensitive, I recommend. Your arms are moving up in some direction. So if your shoulders have any issues, you can cactus your arms. Make the poses work for you. The weight's heavy in your heels. Now use that energy to shoot up to stand up to a standing position, drag your hands to prayer, and drop your arms. From the top, let's put a few together. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, sit deep into chair. It's easier from the top, at least I think it is. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, you let that go. Come to the fingertips and prepare, step or float through your version of vinyasa. When you get to your downward facing dog, you land your right foot forward, warrior one. If you have back issues, crescent lunge may feel better. Take that. Good, Dara. Hands come down through a vinyasa or right back to a dog. Just take an extra breath, regroup. And then when you're ready, left foot lands, back foot turns. Come on up to your version of first warrior or crescent lunge. Great job. Hands come down to frame your front foot. Move through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog, press firm through your hands. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Look to the top. Step or float your feet there. Long spine, keep your weight forward. Exhale, fold into yourself. Sit deeply into chair. Weight moves into your heels. Stick your butt way back in chair. There you go. Press up to stand up, drag your hands to prayer, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky. So you go big with your arms and then you lower your seat into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, weight pulls you forward. Long spine sets you up, step or float through your vinyasa. Upward facing smooth. Hips up and back, downward facing. That's very funny. You should just move the dog. Right foot forward, back foot turns, warrior one. Hands come down through a vinyasa. Yeah, take it right to the floor and keep it moving. Up dog, smooth. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lands on your own beat, on your own breath, warrior one. Back down we go through a vinyasa or pause in that down dog. Exhale all the breath out and just be there. So when you're in your down dog and you go to the top of the mat, think about your arms staying super straight. So look where you want to go. Step or float your feet there. Long spine, weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit deeply into chair, weight moves into your heels. Look forward with your eyes. Press up to stand up, drag it to prayer at heart, drop your arms. Arms slide straight up towards the sky, sit deep into chair. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, let your head go. Come to the fingertips and prepare, step or float through your vinyasa. When you get to down dog, land your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one. Back down we go through vinyasa. Left foot lands on your own beat, warrior one, come on up. Back down we go, chaturanga. Good. Right foot lands, back foot turns, warrior one, come on up. Good. Drop your arms by your side body, clasp your hands. We took humble the other day. I love humble warrior. So open up your heart and chest, get heavy in your front thigh, and really make sure that your left ribs are spinning forward. You're gonna come forward and either rest your stomach on your right thigh or snuggle your right shoulder to the instep of your right leg. Either which way, your torso is still moving forward, so you're not opening. Grip the right hip in super strong. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Press firm to the outer blade of your back left foot and breathe. Less is sometimes more in these poses, so find something that you know you can hold. Stay with it, couple more cycles of breath. So put a lot of attention towards your back leg and your front right thigh. Don't lose the shape at all. Just bring your torso up. So you're back into the shape of warrior one with your hands clasped ideally. Straighten your right leg on track. Keep your hands down. So you're gonna have to step your left foot in about an inch or so your stance feels a little bit more grounded. Inhale the breath, open the heart and chest. Exhale, come forward for Parsvottanasana. So you can keep your hands bound if that's okay, or you can always split them apart, take the floor, grip it, and fold. You want to breathe your right hip up. Let your head fold and your stomach rest on the front of your right thigh. So that's going to require a bend behind your right knee. Left leg is super straight. Right leg can have as much bend as you need. Steer your hips up towards the sky and fold your torso down. Let your head go. If your hands are down, let the clasped hands drop closer to the base of the spine, base of the head. Keeping your legs firm, your hips hugging in, start to pull your torso up. Come upright. Good. Take your hands to your hips. Right hand on your hip, left arm extends up. Inhale your breath. Come halfway down. Slide your right hip towards the back skinny edge of your mat. Come the rest of the way down, twisting triangle. Place a block underneath your left hand. This is the best way to do this pose. I go with the highest setting, but you're welcome to go medium or low, depending on you. Right hand comes to the flat part of your back and then begin to stack and peel open. The biggest thing is you want to feel your legs and your hips moving back and your spine riding out forward. These look great. Now, keep in mind that if your arm extending up towards the sky feels kind of crunchy or not right, Tracy's doing this just fine. Take the hand to the flat part of your back and be there. Stay with it. So this pose that I find, the longer you hold it, you kind of get to this place that you're like, okay, this is a sweet spot. I'm really riding out a strong exhale breath. Stay with it. Look to the floor. Both hands come down to frame the front foot. Do me a favor, just creep your right foot to the center of the mat. Yeah, just walk the right foot to the center of the mat. Be on your fingertips. And then step your left foot forward to meet it. So now your feet are together at the top of the mat. Excellent. Sit immediately into a chair. You knew this was coming. Chair pose. Drag your hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow and twist. And some of us are nursing injuries, so what I recommend in this pose is not to hook and go in so deep. Yeah, you can air twist. Yeah, Maria, that looks great. Weights in your heels, spine is nice and long. If you want to open up your arms, you can. Don't feel any peer pressure. There's no peer pressure in yoga. You just do what you feel like doing. That's what this practice is all about. And just with a little bit of a push. Pull around to chair. Pull around to chair. Get real heavy in your legs in chair pose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Let your head go. Good job. Let's set up for a little crow or a little squat malasana. So I'll give you a little suggestion with crow pose because I don't really teach it that often over this. Squat is awesome. Let your feet turn out and just drop down. This is option one. Sit up really tall. You can always have the block to kind of rest on here. Crow pose, stand on your block, okay? Have it the long direction. Bring your feet together to touch. It looks like this. Plant your hands out like chaturanga and get your knees high, high, high up into your upper armpits. Personally, you can just stay here because this is an isometric core exercise working on arm balance. Just bring your gaze and really focus on drawing in. Eventually, over time, one foot and then the other foot can lift up off that block. The trick in crow is that if your butt goes too high, that topples you forward. Step or float through your vinyasa. And that may not be a very, very gracious looking thing right now. So just get yourself back, move through a vinyasa if you want to kind of clear the cobwebs, and meet me in a downward facing dog. Exhale all the breath out. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. We got to do the other side. Let's hope we remember. Warrior one, come on up. Good. Once you get to this warrior one, drop your arms down, interlace your hands, inhale your chest open, exhale, come forward, humble. Steer your right ribs forward. Yes. Drape your torso on your thigh or snuggle in there. Press strong through your feet and your legs and hug your left hip in super strong. And then you get to a spot that you can just hold, breathe, and try and maintain. Couple more. Put a lot of attention through your legs. Don't let the shape transfer any movement at all. Start to pull just your torso up. Torso lifts up, arms stay clasped, back leg is strong. Straighten the left leg on track. Scoot your right foot in about an inch or two. Steer your right ribs forward. Exhale your breath. Come forward and fold. Back leg is strong. Front leg can have as much bend as you need. Vashistasana. Breathe your left hip up and back and drape yourself down. Having bound hands is ideal, or hands separate around the front foot to the floor or blocks. Steer your hips up and back. Press strong through your legs and your outer hips. And drape yourself over that front thigh. Breathe into the hamstrings and the back side of the body. Heavy in your legs, strong in your hips. Pull yourself up very, very slow. Straight legs and strong torso. Release your bind. Left hand on your hip. Right arm extends up big. Inhale that breath. Back leg is the anchor. Come halfway down, steer your left hip back. I actually give my left hand and my hip a little tug. And then I reach out and set up for this great twisting triangle. Left hand can be on the flat part of the back. This is giving me information that I'm even in my pelvis. Look sideways, look up. Maybe stack the top arm. This is truly optional as you twist open. Good. Be mindful in this pose that your right bottom shoulder isn't rolling in. Yeah, externally rotated out. Focus on a nice strong inhale, and as you exhale, twist open a little more. Two more. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Just move the block forward. Be on your fingertips. Walk your left foot to the center. Spring your right foot forward. Sit immediately into chair. Get heavy in your legs. Drag your hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Exhale, twist to the left. So you can rest your elbow in the center of the thigh and just work on the alignment. You can stay a little bit more upright and just work on the structural shape of the pose. You could also just get in there. Make sure the two knees stay aligned though. Any of those options, the alignment is the same. The weight stays in your heels, and the twist, just reminding you, is not through your spine. Your spine is long. Try not to skip a breath, stay with it. Pull around to chair. Heavy in your legs in chair, guys. Sit all the way down to Navasana. I like to have my hands out in front of me in Navasana. The fingertips can be on the ground. You could also, by all means, use blocks. Lift your chest up. Bend your legs in half and drag your torso closer to the front of your thighs. Lift through your upper collarbone. Hands touching something. The blocks are actually kind of nice today. I like it. Because my openness of my chest is what I'm looking for. You're going to lower to an Ardha Navasana. Now, Ardha Navasana is a low hover. Legs can be at a 90-degree angle. It can look like this. Hands are still touching something, either the floor or blocks. So 90-degree angle, halfway down, hovering the floor, feeling your lower back spreading is the most challenging. Neck is neutral. Press down, pull yourself up, Navasana. All right, no angry yogis today. Let's do that again. Ardha Navasana. Move within ease in your body. Ardha Navasana. Navasana, pull it up. Oh boy. One more. Ardha Navasana. Navasana, pull it up. Cross your ankles, step or float through your vinyasa. Meet in a dog. Step your right foot forward, circle open, warrior two. Warrior two. Get heavy in your front thigh, lengthen your tailbone. Breathe your collarbone open. Not a long hold today, so just close your eyes and just commit for about 5 breaths. You guys know the alignment. We do this all the time. Wrap the inner right thigh open. Get heavy in your legs. Keeping the structure of the legs, right hand reaches to the outside of the right foot. I personally like a block on its highest setting these days, or arm to the top of the thigh. Left arm can stretch straight up or come up and forward, you pick. Right hip grips in, bottom ribs turn open, left leg presses strong, so your side body is getting a lot of space. Look sideways or look up, and breathe. Lighten the breath a little bit in the pose, so don't breathe so intently into the posture. Just make the breath nice and smooth and simple, and let the shape of the pose kind of evolve. If the left arm went forward, stretch it straight up towards the sky. Look down, using your block, float to a half moon. I personally like moving my hand to my hip for balance, lifting the left leg up hip height. Block out in front of me to the right, about 6 to maybe 10 inches, beyond the fingertips, and then grow the pose. Stack the body nicely. Open. Finding your breath, finding your balance, gripping your right hip in. So right leg, think of it as Tadasana. Adding Shavasana, which is a little back bend, grab behind you, grab the ankle, kick behind you. Soften a lot behind your standing right knee if you need to. Turn your bottom ribs open, look up. Maybe getting lighter on your bottom hand. Maybe coming to 3 fingers or 2 fingers. If you embellished on the pose, release to a regular half moon. Spark up your left toes, stretch big through your left arm. Very mindful transition this morning. The right foot stays forward, hug your right hip in. We're stepping to triangle pose. So step back really mindfully, pull up on the front of the right shin and slide the left arm up towards the sky as you look up. If it didn't work out for you, just reset. You pull yourself up, you rearrange the stance, and you find your triangle. Good work, guys. When you're in triangle, think of your side ribs. Yes, extension from your hip to your armpit. Pull up on the front of the shin a little more and breathe your collarbone and your chest open. So we're going to transition to a side plank or modified side plank with a bind, okay? So here we go. You're going to look to the floor, and I want you to go to your left side. So left hand comes down. You can drop your left knee like this and go right into a side plank with a bind, such as I'm showing. If you want to go into side plank regular, okay, Vashistasana, bend at your right knee crease and see if you can grab your right hand to your right ankle. That's how it will go. The knee down is definitely the preferred version for me. Yes, so Tracy, just make sure your left knee is directly underneath your left hip, and that's going to help out the alignment. Yeah. Nice work, guys. Nice, Rima. Plank position. Let it all go through a vinyasa or right to a dog and be happy there for a sec. Exhale the breath out. We get ourselves together. And then we step our left foot forward. Open, open, circle open, warrior two. So just cartwheel yourselves open, warrior two. Take a moment to readjust, realign, and then close your eyes and be in the pose. 5 or 6 breaths here. Nice and upright, nice and open, and beautifully aligned. Breathe your right arm a little bit more. Yeah, open. Give it as equal love. Wrap the left thigh open. Press strong through the standing right leg. Reach out with your left hand, extended side angle A. I'm going for a block to the outside of my foot, but you can rest your arm on the top of the thigh. Same alignment here, right arm could reach up or could wrap up and forward. The energy of the right foot through the right fingertips and the right arm, it's like a bow and arrow. If your hand is on the block or the floor, remind yourself that your left outer thigh and your left inner arm should make a connection. Turn your bottom ribs and look up. Right arm drifts up. I personally like the hand to the hip. Look down and float seamlessly, half moon. Grip your left hip in strong. Float your right leg up hip height. And then stack the body so the right arm can extend up. Spark up the right toes. Once you catch the pose, you decide what you need. Maybe it's just being here. Maybe it's bending at the knee crease, grabbing the ankle. You decide. Turn the bottom ribs. Remind yourself that if you bind, the kick goes behind you. Here we go, guys. Last little bit here. Release into a regular Ardha. You have to put a lot of attention to the standing left leg and keeping the body really strong and straight. Giant step back into Trikonasana triangle pose. Pull up on the front of the shin. Those are pretty graceful. Lean back a little. Stack yourself up nicely. Side body nice and long. Outer hips hugging in. Crown of the head is moving over your front foot. We're going to transition to the right side of Vashistasana or modified side plank, which is modified side plank. So here you go, you just circle it to the floor and then drop. You could drop your right knee right down and stack right up and go right into this little bind. We kind of prepped for this earlier in the practice. So if you're going for regular side plank, guys, set yourself up first, then reach with your left hand and bend your knee and see if you can grab your ankles. So the Shavasana and the side plank, such as I'm demonstrating here. Nice. Good, let it go through vinyasa. That looked really exciting on your front. Yes, you're like, that's awesome. Chaturanga, sometimes it's a disaster. Upward facing, hips up and back, downward facing. Sometimes you're like all in your yoga practice. Sometimes it's like, you know, it's like raining. You're raining in your yoga practice. Look to the top of the mat. Hang with me, guys. Last little standing sequence. Step or float your feet there. Get to the top. Long spine on the inhale. Exhale, fold into yourself. Root to rise. Come up one more time. Nice big stance. Drag your hands to prayer and just stand for a second. Have your blocks to the top of the mat. The standing right leg will be your leg that you're balancing on. You're going to reach back and grab your left foot with one or both hands. So it's going to look like this. Your two knees stay together. So you're going to bind yourself. If this is totally not available for some reason, this would be your option. Just create the shape. Just create the shape, okay? Or if you can only grab with one hand, just grab with one, but make your right arm just as active. Keep the two knees sliding past one another. A little soft bend behind the right knee. And I just want you to tip a little forward, like more like think warrior three, not dancer pose. And then give your left leg a little bit of energy. Flex the foot. Hug the hips in. Now, if you have your foot, okay, if you have your foot, let it go and reach your arms and your leg back. So now you're in warrior three. So now you're in warrior three. Steer your torso and your chest towards the ground. Look to the floor, hands come to prayer. Left hand comes down, right hand to the flat part of your back. Revolved Ardha Chandrasana, 3 or 4 breaths, right arm can stack up towards the sky. Breathe your left leg up. From your inner thigh, twist open. Give it a little bit more juice. Look to the floor, both hands come down. Giant step back, low lunge. Rearrange your feet. Come up, crescent lunge. Hands to prayer at heart. Lean out, hook the elbow, and twist. Want to get in there, activate your back leg at the crown of the head to line up with your back left heel. If you need a little break, you can always drop your knee. Spine nice and long as you twist open. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Good, listen carefully. You're going to go into a 3-legged down dog. I want you to use the strength of your arms and your core. 3-legged down dog. Lift your right leg up, hip height, flex the foot. Good, listen carefully. You're going to step your right foot forward again and drop your knee down. And you're going to come up to a supported lunge, but I want your left knee straight up and down. Yes, drop your arms by your side, body clasp your hands, inhale your breath, lift your heart and chest. So it's like kind of like a single leg half camel pose. Breathe, breathe your collarbone and your chest open and really align your body. If this doesn't feel good, the bind, just have your hands kind of like hugging in. Eyes, the shoulders move up and back. Pull your torso up to center, sweep your arms towards the sky. Hands come down to frame your front foot. I just want you to step to the front of the mat, hips with distance. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Drag it to prayer. drop your arms. Stand on your left leg and bend your right knee in. Grab your ankle with one, both, or imaginary hands. Lift your torso up. Soften behind your left knee subtly. Begin to kick your right foot into your right hands, left hand, and just drop your torso down a couple inches. Fire up your right thigh and hug your hips in so you're not winging out. Fix your eyes on one spot. Warrior three. Extend the arm and extend the leg. Neutralize your pelvis. Look to the floor. Fix your eyes. Bring your hands to prayer. Right hand comes down. Left hand comes to the flat part of your back. Flex your right toe strong. Breathe your inner right thigh open. There you go. You're in a revolved Ardha Chandrasana. Look sideways or look up. Maybe stack the left arm. Definitely have your block in the highest setting. It helps big time. Side ribs are long. Stay with it. Twist a little more. Look to the floor. Both hands come down. Neutralize your pelvis first. Then take a giant step back. Low lunge. Come up, crescent lunge. Hands to prayer at heart. Inhale the breath. Lean out. Hook the elbow and twist. If you need to back out of it this morning, just drop the back knee. But when you drop the knee for this pose, the knee's on an angle. There you go. Hook the elbow in and lean back and twist open. You want to get the crown of the head to line up with your back right leg or heel. Hug the left hip in super strong and give it some love. Ride out the exhale breath. Activate your back right leg a little more. Twist. Last two breaths. Hands to frame your front foot. So you want your arms to really anchor straight and the left leg just swings up and back, three-legged down dog. Good, look forward with your eyes and just re-step the left foot forward, drop the knee and pull your torso up. So now the goal is to have your right thigh straight up and down. So you may need to step your left foot in a little. Arms drop down, interlace the hands one last time. Inhale the breath, open up the chest. It's like a half camel pose. So what we want is that we're not dumping into our lower back. The back bend, it's a series of back bends, but the chest is getting this amazing openness. The neck is neutral. Hip points are moving forward. Hug the left hip in strong. And breathe. Pull the torso up, sweep the arms towards the sky. Hands come to frame your front foot, step to a dog. When you get to down dog, come forward plank one last time. Lower halfway to a chaturanga, press back up to plank, hips up and back dog. Slide your right knee forward for a very brief half pigeon. Yeah. Let yourself just melt if you can. Hands to the floor, just step to a dog and switch sides. Stay in your yoga trance if you can. Good. Use the strength of your body, pull yourself up. Lean on that left side and come down, bring your block with you. When you hit the floor, I want you to lay down. Set yourself up for supported bridge. Lift your tailbone up and slide a block underneath your lower back. Yeah. Everybody takes supported bridge, unless you know you're dying to go up into a full wheel. This would be the time to do it, but I'm going to work you from supported bridge to like legs up the wall. So if you're going to go full wheel, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest, and you'll do it now. But it's kind of neat to do it this way. The block underneath your lower back, the highest setting is going to give you that most of that back bend, but don't force it. Steer the feet forward, the thighs forward. Breathe your collarbone and your chest open. And then when you feel like you're ready, okay, I've got ground, I feel supported, lift one leg, head up towards the sky, and then lift the other. Once you get up, it's very natural that the legs want to kind of waver forward towards you. Really keep the feet directly over those hips. Flex the feet. Yes, kind of like create like a Barbie foot. And then if you can, reach around the block with clasped hands. If you feel like the block's digging into your butt, then you got to come down and reset it. Yeah, it's not working out today, Rima. Yeah, make friends with the block. Bend your knees in half, take your feet flat to the floor. Once the feet get down, lift your hips an inch or two off the block, and then slowly slide the block out from underneath you, and then slowly let the tailbone hit the ground. When the tailbone hits the floor, hug your knees straight in towards your chest. Give them a huge squeeze. Keep squeezing the right knee and slide your left leg forward. Just the left leg forward, the right knee. It's an independent, separate leg stretching here. Inhale the breath. Kind of lift your hips and take it over to the left. So your right knee is in, and then you're gonna take a supine twist towards the left. If you prefer to do this with two knees bent, by all means, go for it. Come up to center, relax the legs out in front of you, hug the other leg in towards the chest, left knee, give it a squeeze, and then take it over to the right or whatever way you didn't go yet. Roll to center and extend both your legs out. And now's the best time. You can set up for your final pose, which is Shavasana. Complete restoration for the next 2 minutes. Allow yourself this. You gave yourself the 60 minutes to practice. You can give yourself 2 minutes more. This is where your body and mind really make that strong, powerful leap. Enjoy. Take a full breath in. If you've got more time, stay. Take a full breath out. Hug your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Roll to the right or the left side to come out of this. Yeah, just like roll your whole body to one side. And then use the strength of your arms to press yourself up. And as you sit up, just sit up really tall in your body. That was a great practice, guys. Really good job. Hands to prayer. Just bow your head for a second. Pray we don't lose power. Lift your head, open your eyes. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, guys. And I will see you next week. We'll try again for Wednesday and Friday Zoom, and probably be Thursday in person if you're interested. Be in touch.